world of colors. I'm back from break. It was a nice Christmas, and I hope you all had a nice Christmas too, and a Happy New Year. Now, I'm here today with a small project to kind of warm us up to the new year, but I think it's a real important project too. I'm dealing with these little plush gnomes from the Dollar Tree. There's 4 of them in the collection, and I took a look at them and thought about what I wanted to do with them. So I'm going to come back in just a moment, tell you what the supplies we're going to use, and show you what we're going to do with them. So what I'm going to do is show you the ingredients that we're going to use, the supplies that we have here on the table to make them. And it's what I used was a little bit of Mod Podge, some of the Tester's Craft paints in desert sand, fuchsia, and petal pink. And those paints are made by Rust-Oleum, the Tester's Craft paints. You can buy them on Amazon and Menards. I'm also going to use these little wooden knobs. These are 1-inch wooden knobs, and these are 3/4 inch wooden knobs. I'm going to use 3 for each little plush gnome that I make. I'm just going to do 1 today. And I get the knobs from Amazon, 30 in a package like this. They come like this. So if you look up the 31-inch knobs, you should be able to buy those on Amazon or in the craft stores. If you don't want to use wooden knobs, I also wanted to say that you could use these smooth foam balls. They're 1-inch balls that they sell at Hobby Lobby, and I've seen them a couple other places too. They're called smooth foam. You could use those as well. And then, excuse me, I found these really cute wooden hearts with the beads on them that have the different sayings on them, and I'll be using those, just 1 of those today. But I use all 3 in the plush gnomes that I make up. And then we're going to be using these glitter hearts on the stems. We'll just be using 1 of those today. And then I wanted to pick 1 of the gnomes that I wanted to do for you, and my favorite is the gray one, so I thought I'd do the gray one. And I'm purposely not showing you what they're going to look like when they're done, so that it's just kind of exciting to see what as we go. So we're not going to use these today, even though they're part of the collection. We're just going to use the gray one. So the first thing we want to do is, they don't stand up very good, so I need them to stand up. So I'm going to flip them over and take my small, sharp scissors and cut right down the seam on the back, just enough to fit a flat marble in there. That should be plenty big right there. And I have 20 flat marbles cut or counted to put in here. This should make it so he'll set up. Takes a while to get 20 of them in there, I guess. My dogs are running up and down the stairs again, so that's the noise. So then after you get them in there like that, you just want to put a little bit of glue in the seam. Very small little spot here. And just hold it together like that and let it set up. And I'll be right back with you. Sitting up now, the seam's all done up here, and we got them turned around. And the next thing we want to do is take our 1-inch wood knob And we want to glue it right to the nose that's on him now, to just try to have his nose be out a little bit farther, not so flat. So glue it right in the center there. We're going to bring the hat down over it a little bit. And I'll let that set up. So I've got that glued on there, and I glued the top part of the hat onto the top of the wooden knob right here. So that's all glued on in place. And then is what we want to do is cut off the little fabric hands and put little 3/4 inch wood dowels or your foam balls on here. We want something a little bit more paintable. So we're going to cut those off. So right at where the tan is, you just want to cut these off. I'm not crazy. This is really going to turn out good. You cut them off like that. Just like that. And just kind of take your finger and get the foam that's kind of coming out a little bit, the stuffing, in there like that. Make yourself a spot. And then just glue your piece in there. And we'll let that set up. So what you want to do now that you have the hands and the nose on is take out those Testra's craft paints and take this is the desert foam sand. Got that out. Some petal pink. And some fuchsia. I've got 3 different brushes here, so I can just use the inside of the lids and not get out a little plate. And now you can do this ahead of time and glue these in place already painted. I like it to do it this way because I don't like to get my hands covered in the paint. So it's easier for me to do it this way and just paint it up like this. I'm going to paint all 3 of these tan and let them dry, and then I'll be right back. I've got the tan on all 3 wooden pieces here, and I'm about ready to put some petal pink on there. You just want a little petal pink to start us off with the warming it up a little bit. Put a little on the hands. And then we'll put that down, and I've got the fuchsia out here. I just want a little dab of fuchsia and mix it kind of in with the pink. That's a little bit more pink that I want. A little bit too red. So it's like that, and we'll put a little bit more fuchsia color down here on the hands. I'm just using what's left in the brush. There we go. On the hands. And then what we want to do is we want to set our paints aside. We want to take out a little bit of our Mod Podge. I just take the lid off of that and with a clean brush and get a little bit of this going on for the, make them a little shiny. Now I'll let that dry and I'll be right back. The next thing we want to do is put on our heart. We've got this all dried up. I got out my blow dryer and made sure those are nice and dry. And you just want to take your craft scissors and cut down the heart a little bit. Maybe a couple inches off. And we're going to glue it on. We want the bottom to hit the bottom of a shoe, the top of a shoe, and we'll glue it on just about like that. I'm just going to put some glue right on the stick here. And lay it right on the sleeve. Like that. And give that a couple minutes. So the next thing you want to do, once you have that dried on there, is to take that beaded heart, that wooden heart, and just take your scissors and clip the beads off. I'm saving these in this little container for another project, the beads. So you take your little heart and we want to put some glue on the back of it and position it right about like that on the little plush gnome. Get some glue on about like that. Kind of angle it on there. And let it set up. They're all finished now. These are the two that I had made previous to this video. And this is the one we made today. And I think they just turned out so cute. Wouldn't you love to give those out as little gifts for people for Valentine's Day? And there's such little work involved and very little money. And they stand up real nice. And also, I was thinking that if you wanted to, these are hearts that came out in the Dollar Tree this year. Really pretty, either one. I bought 6 of them because I think I'm going to use them in quite a few projects. But one idea that I had was you could take a couple of these little guys and glue them in the middle of the heart, once you took the plastic off, of course, and glue them in the middle of the heart, and then maybe add a few of those little flowers around the edge, and you'd have a nice little centerpiece for your table if you wanted to use them that way. The other thing I wanted to say is that last year I put this plaque hack video on for Dollar Tree. It was a Dollar Tree plaque hack. And these were the plaques that we were looking for. And they were really hard to find last year to do this with. And I wanted to remind you to look for these plaques early and do this video that we had a hard time getting the plaques to do last year. It's called Dollar Tree Plaque Hack, Valentine Plaque Hack, if you want to look up the video on how to do these. It turned out so cute. and be on the lookout for these plaques. And that's about all I wanted to tell you today. And I'm so glad to be back with you after such a long break. And I really have a cute gnome set up for next week, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So thanks. If you like this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe.